Hello once again, welcome back to my channel. In case this is the first time you're seeing me, I am Adebanjo Faith, and today I'm going to be sharing with everyone the activities that you can engage your toddlers in between the age of 13 months to 15 months based on what I engaged my daughter with. Presently my daughter is about 16 months, so I just put together some things that we did in the past 3-4 months. Before we go on, I would like to just state 2 points here. First of all, it's that these activities I have been suggesting and I am going to suggest today are only recommendations. It's not compulsory your child has to go through all of this, okay? If they are not ready for it, it's totally fine, and if they seem over ready for it, then it's totally fine. They are just recommendations and guidelines. Remember, the basic thing is to follow the interest of your child, so you're not bombarding and forcing them to go through each activities, to go through these activities in any way. You're just following their interest and allowing them to express themselves as the months roll by. The second thing I would like to note is that some activities I have recommended in my previous activity video, which is the 10 to 12 months. Yes, if you haven't checked that out, please make sure you do. I would be repeating some of it briefly in this video because I actually didn't stop those activities. So those the activity she started then, we actually continued because she had not perfected it, so I didn't take it away, except she lost interest in any of them, and apparently she didn't. So those are the 2 points I would like to note. So without wasting further time, let's just jump right into this video. The first activity I'll be recommending is the colored ring stacker. This is one of the ones I mentioned in the 10 to 12 months video, and my daughter hadn't really mastered it. Right now she has mastered it fully, and if rather than making the stacker stand vertically, I also held it in a way that it stands horizontally, and she could still bend and manipulate and to fix it. So that is a new way of introducing the colored ring stacker to your child. If they have mastered putting it vertically, you either get the ones that has to force them to bend a little to manipulate putting inside it, or if you are like me and do not want to invest much in more ring stackers, then you could just find a way of putting it, holding it, or sticking it in such a way that you would stack it horizontally. Now the next activity is the open and close activity. Right now my toddler has mastered opening and closing simple things like the lid of toothpaste, any cover that does not have to do with screwing. She has mastered it. Provided you just flip open and flip close, she has actually mastered that. So I think in the subsequent months we'll be practicing how to actually twist our hands to cover properly the material. But anything that has to be just opening, closing, that you don't have to manipulate so much, she has actually been able to master that. The next activity, which I mentioned in my last video, in fact I think this activity has come up, this is like 3 times now, is the shaped puzzle. And before now she had not mastered it, so we just do anything with it. If you follow me on Instagram, I uploaded a video when she was roughly about 7-8 months, when she decided to use this shaped puzzle to become Kwanki Simbao. And right now she now knows the function of each shape, and she knows how to maneuver her hands to fit it in perfectly. So I think the next thing now would be maybe to start to introduce the name of the shapes, or better still the name of the colors, since we have the 3 primary colors on the shaped puzzle. And the next activity she involved in within the last 3 months are actually nesting things into each other, like nesting cups into each other, maybe different sizes of cups, or we got these nesting boxes here that you can use that you can stack and you can fit into each other. So she's still working on that, but to a large extent she can manipulate these boxes into each other. So this is a very good activity for your toddler. If your child is within this age range, you can introduce stacking items. If you don't have a stacking box, you can use bowls in your kitchen, maybe measuring cups that are of different sizes. 3 or 4 is just fine, so that they will not be overwhelmed with too many. Now this next activity is just something we introduced in the past 2 months. I think yes, 2 months, and that is scribbling. So we got this drawing paper and chunky large crayons for her, and she's just scribbling. So the function or the advantage of this is that your child will begin to, it's just like introducing art into your child's learning activity, and I'm sure they would enjoy it, because they would just like, normally said, if you're holding a pen, they want to collect it, your pen and paper to scribble on it. So why not provide them with the opportunity to also scribble? Now note, you're not forcing them to write, you're not telling them write one, you're not telling them that, you're just allowing them to express themselves, draw whatever it is that they feel like. That rubbish you think is actually one of their artistic capacity at that point in time. So it's something you could help them do. Next activity we did in the last 3 months is fitting sticks into holes. So I uploaded a video a while back. If you've not checked that out, so please check it, where I shared with you how I created my own DIY version of that activity, where you fit in sticks into holes. Now this is something that helps your child and eye coordination. It helps them in problem solving, because they have to manipulate the sticks. If you have these craft sticks, it will be also nice to also use. But this is one activity that I engage my toddler in, and right now it's still out in her shelf. We haven't taken it away because she's yet to get it exact. My next suggestion and recommendation is gross movement. We call it gross movement, and that is just allowing them climb into things, climbing the chair, climbing the bed, climbing the table, climbing. Now if your child is a climber like mine, this would definitely be something that would be very useful to your child. And for us, we don't have a particular toy like the horse rocking chair or the Pickler triangle or the slide. We don't have any of that yet, but the particular furniture that is in this house that I was surprised, not really surprised, pleasantly surprised to see that she could climb is her stool in the kitchen. And in fact, that stool was constructed in such a way that there was no extra step for her to, climb into it. But still, she found her way, and every time she could climb up and she could come down from it. So gross movement is something that is very important. I cannot also overemphasize the importance of walking. Children likes to go out. Like keeping them in the house, telling them, can't you sit down? You're not gonna walk. That's a pigeon. It won't walk. Like once a while, try to take them out for a walk. They want to run, they want to walk. If you're afraid of them falling and getting injured, just put on maybe Jane or something that even if they fall down, they won't scrape their knee. And if they scrape it, it's just part of it's just part of their learning process. It's fine, provided they're not hurt beyond measure. So allow them climb. If your area is even such that you have trees that you guys climb on, I don't know, whatever it is that is just safe, that will help and develop their gross movement, please encourage them to do so. They would learn to balance, they would learn to jump over things, maybe water, gutter, small gutters, and all of that. And all of these things that might not look so important, but they are actually basic things that would help them survive generally. Anyways, without fear. Yes, it's very important, without fear. Now, another activity I would recommend is transferring items from one container to another, this time around with a spoon. In my last video, I recommended transferring from one item, from one container to the other with the child's hands. This time around, you can introduce a spoon. Mine well, she hasn't mastered this so well yet, and I've not really given her enough opportunity to practice it, majorly because I have not found the perfect material to give her to transfer. But really, I don't think that's an excuse. Like, anything can be a material to transfer, so to say. Those pegs that they love to play with, just bring out a portable spoon that they can use to fetch the pegs and drop into another container. That is one. Building blocks, just something that will make it easy. In fact, as I'm recording this video, that peg idea, I think I'm going to work on it to also help her, practice that. But this is a great activity within this space and even beyond. Now, as we round up this video, this is the part you won't want to miss, which are the daily life activity, the daily things you do at home. So the first category is the food preparation. When you're in the kitchen, allow them to join you. Break the egg, maybe pour the egg, mix it, whatever it is. Maybe they see you wash plates, right? So they could also participate in washing it. I'm sure they will play with it, definitely, but I'm sure it's not as bad as not even allowing them to go through all of these sensory activities at all. So food preparation, like pounding dry ingredients in the small mortar, like breaking egg, whatever that has to do with egg, adding fruit into the blender. Maybe you're making their smoothie or whatsoever it is, adding the fruits into the blender, adding large, easy to hold ingredients into a recipe. Maybe you want to add salt into a recipe, you could fetch the salt and give them the spoon. They will carefully, show them that they can carefully pour it and add it into the recipe. So all of these little things are things that we feel they might not be able to do, or what is that, but it would really help them on a long run. And trust me, they will love it. You will see that you have less fights with them in the kitchen. You go and sit down and cooking. They are hot. Engage them as much as possible, and as safe as possible. Of course, safety is very paramount, but not engaging them at all would not be nice. Self-care activity, like trying to comb their hair, brushing their teeth. If you haven't seen my latest video, like the video before this one, please do check it out. How to reduce or even stop struggles with your toddler entirely. Do well to check it out. So at this age, they can all begin to learn to brush their teeth if they haven't started already. Washing of hands, learning to put on their slippers, learning to remove their diapers, especially if they're using this pull-on, pull-off pants and diaper. Not involve them, teach them how to do this, and I'm sure they will take it. And I would like to note that as you do all of these things, please make sure you name the things you're doing. Like you're cooking now, this is salt. They might not be able to say it at that time, and they might, but just say it. Okay, we're putting on your diaper now. Don't just keep quiet while you work with them. Like, talk to them. This will improve their vocabulary a whole lot. I'm saying this with so much emphasis because it is something that is really working for us in our house. As I wash, saying this is soap, I'm washing the plate, and once she's standing there looking at me, we're cutting onions. Say this is onion. Sometimes I give her to hold. She might even want to put it in her mouth. Anyway, it's safe to put it in the mouth. The last time I did that, she removed it and gave me back my tin. This one is not sweet. Finally, within the last 3 months, I noticed that once I sing a particular song and it's time for maybe her to sleep, or her night times devotion, or maybe morning devotion, whatever it is, and I sing that particular song, what she does is she just marches straight to where that particular devotional is, or that particular Bible story book is, and picks it and brings it and sits down. So children are actually very smart. Start something with them and continue. The key is just routine. Just keep doing it truly and sincerely. It might not be every day, because sometimes I skip, I forget, I'm tired, but just continue, keep at it. So that's one major activity I know she does, and it's very interesting to her. Like, once you just start to sing a song, they know it is time for this. At this point, I've come to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give this video a thumbs up if you gained from it, and also do not forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet, because I do a lot of parenting content, Montessori related content that of course definitely will be of value to you, whether now or later in the future. So please kindly hit the subscribe button, and if there's anyone you know that would benefit from this, don't forget to share it with them. Don't say they will know what you don't have to, just share it with them and they would benefit from it. Thank you so much. I would like you to also make a comment, drop a comment, a suggestion of what think, or maybe a question you want to ask, whatever it is. Let's just chat in the comment section below. Thank you so much once again for staying to the end of this video, and thank you so much for those who have already subscribed. See you in my next video. Bye.